Bring on the sunshine. This month on Talk of the Town, we head outdoors as much as possible.
A wonderful project is underway in Stroudsburg, helping kids create a grow and give garden.
And we visit Grammy booth for a craft project perfect for your outdoor patio or your deck.
Plus, get ready to meet a one-of-a-kind volunteer brightening the day for dogs at a local shelter.
You've probably heard about the spotted lanternfly. It's an invasive species, and all of us need to take action to get rid of it.
But we start by getting to work to sound the alarm.
The American Red Cross of the Poconos is installing free smoke detectors across the region for families in need.
So, of course, we wanted to help out and volunteer for the day.
We canvass an area and we'll knock on doors and ask if they would like smoke detectors put in their homes, and if they have them, we'll come in and check them for them and either replace them, and most people say yes to us. And then we'll go over a short little fire plan with them, and then we move on to the next home.
I'll be the good example and hold the ladder.
It's almost where I can just
Twist
maneuver.
it.
Yeah, twist it, but not
That's on
quite.
reverse.
Okay,
Don't drop a screw in your eye.
thank you.
Oh, there's even a little light on there.
She usually she's good at drill.
Okay, that should be good.
Perfect.
I was like, this is perfect because my furnace exploded like a month or two ago and none of the detectors went off. Thankfully, I was at home when it happened, and so I heard it, and we have 5 smoke detectors and not one of them went off.
You can put it in like that for yourself.
Wow, you're spiffy. Wait, I'm gonna line it up so that it's all good.
Move your thumb a little bit. There you go. Because sometimes, if you go too hard, you can hurt your thumb. A 10-year warranties. It's a smoke alarm and carbon monoxide in one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Keep going. You'll feel it. You gotta really turn it. There you go.
You got it.
That's it. So you heard the beep. That means it works. Now I usually run a test. You can push the. You see the red lights blinking, so it means it works. And I'll just run a test.
Yeah.
The other one, you'll hear it go off. Now hold it. Just
Hold it?
You hold it in, you'll hear it go. Now you push it and shut it off. The other one.
Oh, God.
You got it.
It's done.
Done.
Wow, it's noisy.
Then what
Now
I,
you're gonna know
these
how
work.
good of a cook you are.
so then what I do, we never leave the old smoke detector here. We put it in a box and we take that from the homeowner's house and we drop it in a bucket and
And it's done.
it's done. We move on to the next one.
Go off the track, right?
All the screws are in your pocket.
Oh yeah. Like, where's the screws? I put them all in my pocket. All of them. All right, this one's gonna be a challenge. We'll see how my stretch is.
If you
And
can't,
if I can get leverage. I know. But I don't want to be short today, Kim.
All right.
You got it. Got it.
All right, got it.
Same thing with
Good
this. You lock it until you hear a beep.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
That was fast.
She was
You weren't
right
even
on
standing
that.
up yet.
Sorry.
He was still bent over.
Took me much longer than that.
And then you test it.
Way too often people don't understand, what the American Red Cross does or, how they help people. I have my grandchildren here often. God forbid if something should happen with my grandchildren here, But it's, it's very nice that they do those things for people because I haven't replaced them because I couldn't afford to.
There you go. And then you would hit the bottom one or the top one again.
Or whichever one makes it.
Whatever one turns it on.
makes it quiet.
Yes, whatever one puts it on, shuts it
Okay,
off.
I think it's gonna work.
Awesome.
All right, your oil burner is protected.
Yes, we're halfway done.
Yes.
Like this home we're in now, I came in and there's 4 smoke detectors all just hanging open. There's no batteries in them, they're not working. So it feels really good to me knowing I'm putting 4 in here and it could potentially stop a fire or save a life here, and our grandchildren as well. You might be able to just drive it, I think. Yep.
There we go. I just didn't want to break it.
Jeez, that's powerful,
Got it.
dude.
That is a good one.
Change.
There you go. You know what? And it's a nice smoke detector. Low profile.
Low profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's loud. Like, I don't
yeah.
think my other ones were quite that loud.
Push and hold to test. Get ready.
For what?
All right, works.
It's still working.
There we go.
Perfect. I was to a fire call in Sun Valley, and the man told me when his house was burnt and he had no place to go, I was looking for a hotel for him. He told us that he was going to get around to putting smoke detector batteries in, and he never did. You know, he got out, you know, he was safe, but he happened to be up when the fire happened. He could have been sleeping. And
So last one in the attic.
last one in the attic.
All right, so we're getting rid of the old one first.
Yep.
There we go.
You got it.
Got it.
Screws are in your pocket.
I took them all.
Little remembers are there.
Yeah, well, one's going in my mouth. Okay.
For you?
Oh,
You're probably blinded by that light.
that's all right. Hey, I can see very well.
Oh, well, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then push to hush, it says.
Push to hush.
But it doesn't hush.
No, it does. It just
It
doesn't.
just takes a minute. You have 4 new smoke detectors.
Yay!
Thank you.
Now you and your grandkids are safe.
Yes, thank you
Safe,
so
safe,
much.
safe.
Now you need the plan.
Yes.
The plan.
Now we need a plan because that I never even thought of.
Let's go figure it out.
Yep.
Okay, Lucas, how are you, little guy? Do you have a little fire plan, like an escape route or anything if there was a fire to break out in your home? No? Where do you sleep, upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
Upstairs? Okay. So say this is your bedroom right here, right? And that's the doorknob. And there's a fire right here. Do you know what to do? No?
How could you get out?
How can you get out? You test that with the back of your hand. You walk up to the door, right? You feel if it's hot, you don't open it. Your next step is what we tell people to do, is if you can't open your window, you break your window. And you take a sheet or a blanket and you hang it out the window. Do you know why?
Why?
So somebody, a fireman or somebody passing by, knows you need help and they can get to that room first. Okay? If you have to get out of the house quick, do you go back in and you get your Nintendo and all your games real quick? Do you get those? Huh?
Like, fine.
You don't take nothing with you. They could be
No,
replaced, but your life can't. So what you want to do is just maintain on getting out of the house, okay?
And if you get out of the house before anybody else does, what would we do? Where would we know to look for you?
We need a
Where
meeting
would you
spot.
go?
We need a meeting spot. So that's why once a
How
month
about-
maybe we have a safety
How
plan.
about back by the apple tree? Because that's back by the garage, away from everything.
So if Grammy got out before you, she's going to be by the apple tree, and then you go to the apple tree, and then you meet up with Grammy, right?
Good idea.
Yep. That's a
It's
good plan.
Good plan.
Excellent plan. We're finished here. We've successfully replaced 4 bad smoke detectors.
But our job's not done. We have one more location to visit with the Red Cross.
We're at the clubhouse at Sierra View to check out their smoke detectors.
They've been here for quite a while, so it's probably a good idea to swap them out.
Looks pretty much the same as what's here.
Maybe it will fit on the same track. Aha, it did.
And the fact that the Red Cross is doing this for free, how does that make you feel about their efforts?
I think it's great. I mean, you see stories about natural disasters and big issues all over the news, but it's like you got to take care of at home first. You know, it starts small, and this is a really great service to be providing, and I think you know, people can take advantage of it.
There you go. It's working. Ooh, it's working.
It works for sure.
It works. It's loud.
We have a senior group that meets once a month, and they come up for lunches. They have parties. They do, you know, Christmas parties, things like that. And we sent an email out to them saying, if you're interested, the Red Cross will be up and provide this service. And you know, we got some responses from them, so we're excited about that. Reaching out to the community, and you know, it's a good thing.
All right, old one down.
Old one down. This one is different than that one.
Ooh, this one's in a beam, so it's easy.
Got it.
Got it.
Okay. Got it.
Sweet. For you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we've installed 6 smoke detectors today. That's good work.
Thank you for letting us in.
Yeah.
And your clubhouse is safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Nice job.
Good job.
If you need a smoke detector in your home, join the Sound the Alarm program. Contact the American Red Cross Pocono chapter for more information.
When Talk of the Town continues, it's all about ground zero for the spotted lanternfly and what you need to know. Berks County is ground zero in an attack on some Pennsylvania crops and trees.
The spotted lanternfly is an invasive insect that most likely got here in a lumber delivery from China in 2012.
With no natural predators, the insect is overpopulating our part of Pennsylvania. 14 counties, including Carbon, Monroe, Northampton, Lehigh, and Schuylkill, are part of the quarantine zone, and we all can do something to help stop the spotted lanternfly.
It's a leaf hopper insect, but it's also considered a hitchhiker. So it likes to find places to hide, to expand its territory.
We're on the outskirts of the quarantine zone, but for those closer to ground zero, they've seen some pretty amazing sights.
This insect will completely cover trees. You'll be walking, trying to get gas at a gas station, getting pelted by these insects. They're just everywhere.
From egg mass to young nymph, older nymph, and then adult, the spotted lanternfly is threatening our crops, but they are completely harmless to us.
So we have that to our advantage. So they do not harm you in any way. They don't bite, they don't sting.
But one of the big things we're looking at is its effects on our crops, our vegetables, our vineyards, fruit trees. It really could cause an issue.
So one of the main species that the insect likes to feed on are vegetables, hops, and grapes. It will actually suck the juices out of the plant itself, not necessarily feed on the vegetables and the grapes that we're looking for, but kills the base of the plant. It also secretes a substance called honeydew, which is a very sweet substance that then drips on the leaves as well as the bark of the trees and plants, and it actually will then suffocate that plant. It's also quite unsightly, so when the adults actually do secrete this, even on decks and patios and wherever they are, it is quite unsightly and does permanent damage to some structures as well.
The Department of Agriculture is spearheading a public education campaign. There are several ways the public can help. Egg masses are laid in the fall and hatch in May. You may still have a chance to get rid of some before they hatch this spring.
So they do have the ability to look for those egg masses, scrape those egg masses into a container so they can be discarded.
Yeah, there's fuzzy stuff under there.
Yeah.
Stuff's gotten caught under there.
Because when the egg mass is initially laid, it looks very similar, if you remember silly putty. It looks like a silly putty smudge on the side of a bench or a barrel. And in that egg mass there's about 30 to 50 eggs, and they are pretty resilient. So just kind of scraping it onto the ground, most likely most of those eggs are probably going to survive. So the best method is to actually scrape them off into a baggie or a cup or something and put some hand sanitizer, alcohol essentially, right on top of them, and that'll dry them out and they won't hatch. Around this time of year, they're probably quite dried out, so it looks like kind of like a dried smudge of mud on the side of something.
Hey Zach, before we scratch it, we found something. It's yucky.
If anything, it's a good, that's the kind of location you're looking
for, and that's something else.
If you were a spotted lanternfly, where would you hide your eggs?
Not sure about that one.
I'm not sure about that one. It's not very, it's actually more,
Yeah, fuzzy.
Fuzzy cotton.
More fuzzy.
Park benches that are here are also a good place to check. Like I said, like the side of a barrel. We were looking on this structure here. Any kind of flat surface is what they're going to be looking for. Once the egg masses do hatch, the innate response of those nymphs, as they're considered, so they're little beetle-like insects, they climb up and down the trees. So if we put a band in their way as they're climbing up or climbing down, they could get stuck to that band.
The spotted lanternfly, for some reason, likes the tree of heaven. It's an invasive species that's found in a lot of areas of Pennsylvania.
You'll notice that the ends actually turn up to heaven. So that is why it's one of the reasons it's got its name.
The tree of heaven was actually brought over from China to Philadelphia in the late 1700s for shade trees.
So we're measuring about 4 and 4.5 feet up the tree. So we're going to be banding right about at breast height, which is going to be right here.
What's the purpose of the height?
We don't want to band too high because we stand the chance of the nymphs falling off before they actually get to the sticky band.
Gotcha.
But you don't want to band too low because there is concern for bycatch of other insects that like to hang around the base of the tree.
Is it sticky, Kim?
It is. It's like a double-sided tape in a giant roll.
So what we'll do is we'll also measure the diameter of the tree. So if you'll hold that there.
Yep.
So we know what size our sticky band needs to be. All right, so we have about
70, 21.
21. Now we do want some overlap, so we're going to do 22 because we want the band to wrap around itself to stick to itself.
Watch your fingers, Kim.
I'm moving my fingers. All right, and you got the other end of that? Great. All right, go with that.
Don't let it stick to itself. It's trying to blow. It's hard to do on a breezy day.
It's very challenging. All right. All right, so the idea is the top and bottom we want as tight as possible to the tree because the insects going up and down the tree, we want to catch them. This is where we're going to catch them. So anywhere where it's sticking off the tree, like right here, we'd want to put a push pin here.
Because you don't want them to go under there.
So yeah, so if we need to make it any tighter, now that we're push pinning it, we might need to
make a wrinkle and
exactly. Yeah.
If someone wants to band their trees, where can you get it?
Amazon. You can get them anywhere online. Tractor Supply. Any type of fly paper works just the same. It's sticky. It's a sticky paper. So we are also going to be putting chicken wire around our sticky band to reduce the insects that might not be as clumsy as those nymphs, as well as birds and squirrels. Anything else might be using this tree.
This we got to be careful, obviously.
It's a little picky.
It's a little picky.
I do have gloves, so if we needed to use
I recommend that people use gloves.
Nail caught it.
And I would also recommend some eye protection if you're going to help.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
Here you go, Jim.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. His are cooler than mine.
You can switch.
He looks much cooler than you.
He looks way cooler than me. All right, but let's wander around the tree.
Just bring it around and make sure we overlap it.
Wait, do you link these together?
Yes, the little
So we just kind of
cut pieces, just link it together.
So it helps.
So it is recommended that you do band Tree of Heavens. And the reasoning behind that is not a lot of other insects climb or use this tree. So it reduces the amount of bycatch that you might actually experience. So they do feed on other trees, such as maples. They really like silver maple, so that might be a good tree to also band on your property. Like Jim was saying, trees with softer bark is what they're going to go for.
And there's one thing you can do to get rid of them at any stage of their life. Just step on them.
Also, once they actually do grow into the adult form, they are, like I said, leaf hoppers, so they will kind of hop away from you as you're trying, but squashing them as well.
Any businesses with vehicles traveling in and out of the quarantine zone must apply online for a permit.
They are required to get a business permit. What this is really doing is making sure that your company is educated about the problem and that you're doing your part. So you need to inspect your vehicles, basically do a 360. Make sure that you don't have any stage of the insect on your vehicle, egg masses, nymphs, or adults, before you leave. Every time you park, be mindful of where you're parking. If you don't necessarily have to park underneath the trees where they can kind of fall and hitchhike on your vehicle, just being aware of what you should be doing as part of your business operation.
So the insect is just going to keep growing unless we can have a collaborative effort of understanding why it's an invasive species, why it's a bad species. We could see an increase in wine prices and vegetable prices and beer prices because it's going to start impacting our local crops.
Local wineries, breweries, and farmers are all aware of the problem and are doing their part to stop the spread of the spotted lanternfly. So let's do our part too.
Next, we meet a retiree who works very hard every day to keep homeless dogs happy while they wait for a new home. We're always on the lookout for great stories to share with all of you. Well, we hit the jackpot in Monroe County.
We sure did. Frank Lanterman spent most of his life working in the family business as the director of Lanterman's funeral home. He's now retired, and his days are spent in a much different way.
When I was a little boy, we had a dog called Puddles. Puddles was living when I went in the Navy in 1943. And the reason he was called Puddles, of course, is because he was always going on the floor. And my mother decided to call him Puddles.
Frank loves dogs, so every day he preps food, lots of it, and shares it with some of man's best friends at AWSOM Animal Shelter.
I put them in the oven and I bake them and cut them up. These are fresh chickens that I buy at BJ's. Already
the
cooked.
rotisserie chicken, right?
The rotisserie, yeah. So I've been buying those because I haven't had time.
Yeah.
And then I buy the 30 hot dogs to a package. And then every day I cut up 5 hot dogs. We take 5 of these. And we need one more.
They're probably so happy when you come.
Oh, they know my car. If they're outside, they go, yap, yap, yap. Here comes that food truck.
What made you decide to do this?
Well, because I like dogs, and I thought, I may as well do something. It's just sit every day and watch television, which I do that sometimes. Watch Judge Judy, as she gets such characters on her.
She does get such
Do you ever
characters.
watch?
Yeah.
Doesn't she? And I decided, well, why don't I go and give the dogs treats every day? So that's what happens. And there's very rarely that I miss a day. Then in this box, you can open it, is the
bacon strips.
bacon strips.
Bacon.
Then I will also put dog biscuits in there when we get out to the car. I don't want them to get tired of having the same old thing.
Oh, they got to keep their diet interesting.
Yes, keep it interesting, right? Between shopping for them, to buying the chicken, buying the hot dogs, buying that stuff, and then getting it ready and going up there, I would say that I spend probably at least 4 or 5 hours every day for the dogs.
That's like a part-time job.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. How long have you been doing this?
About 4 years. Because, I'm 96 years old.
Frank has a generous heart and some time on his hands. So every day he loads up his car and heads to AWSOM to visit his 4-legged friends.
That's
for the
people.
Yeah, every day I try to take something for the help as well. On to AWSOM.
That guy's the best. He is the best.
All right.
We slowed him down a little bit today.
Yeah, he sure did. He's behind schedule. Isn't he something?
Yes, oh boy.
He sure is. All the dogs, all the large dogs are outside, and when Frank comes in, they know it's almost like they know his car.
Yeah.
And when they see his car and he circles around, they start barking, And then you
Don't forget me.
Yeah,
Don't
you can
forget
see
me.
all of them look his way, and they're like, "Brrr," and he gets out of the car and he goes, I'm coming. The Pennsylvania SPCA abandoned this facility in 2008, and there was no facility at the time for any care for any of the animals that are outdoors, mistreated, neglected, or just straight out on the streets. And then AWSOM came in, and we started from scratch. We bought this facility from the Pennsylvania SPCA, and that's where we started. We're into our 10th year.
You gotta get up. Come on, you come over, Frank. Okay. All right.
He has a black lunch pail, which I think you saw today, and another container, and he goes around and meets all the animals, and they go crazy for Frank. I think they know Frank better than our handlers know, because of course, everybody's food motivated. I'm food motivated, but they just love him to death. And it's a very special relationship that he has with the dogs here.
They know the lunch boxes. They know the lunch boxes. Hello. Yes, we're coming, Yappy. Yes. Yappy.
You know what's going on, Yappy?
I forget what his right name is.
Snoopy.
Snoopy, but I call him Yappy.
You call him Yappy?
Because he's always... Yes, all right. Is he over here? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll get ready for him first. If I am there and they've already had their regular lunch, and they see me, they ignore their regular lunch. We don't want that. We want the chicken, the hot dogs, the pepperoni. We don't want this junk that they're giving us here. And, all right, Yappy, we'll get you next.
This facility's been averaging about 1,200 animals a year coming into this place. Roughly around 600 cats and almost 600 dogs a year. If it wasn't for this facility, I think there'd be a lot more cats and dogs roaming the streets of this area.
Oh, their tails wag and they look at me so adoringly, and oh, yow, 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 of course. Yeah.
You're next, relax.
The dogs get lonely. How would you feel if you were taken from your house and taken to some strange place and being put in a cage when you were used to having somebody having you around every day to be with you? So this way, I feel that it makes them, they know every day, as long as they're there, and some of them, such as Seamus, Ryder, Gypsy, they've been there as long as I've been there. So they know that when they see me, when I look through the glass window and they're over in the next room, as soon as they see me, their tail starts wagging. Here's Ashley. Ashley does not like other dogs.
Oh, Ashley. She looks happy, though, so I'm sure she likes you.
Oh, yeah, she's very nice. Aren't you, Ashley? Yes.
Real special guy. He's donated money to this facility for certain care of animals to help animals get back on their feet.
We got Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Sam's been here a long time.
But having volunteers here is monstrous. Cleaning the cat cages, taking the dogs for walks all the time, preparing their meals, helping set up kongs during the day, taking care of the outside property, cleaning, doing dog bowls. It would be impossible for just the staff to do it.
Seamus, you have had yours. Yes, what do you want? Seamus says, I want more. You've had enough. You've had enough, Seamus.
At this facility, we'll do the best we can to take in everything that we possibly can and find it a home. So it's funny that we take in about 1,200 animals a year, but we also adopt out close to 1,200 animals a year.
Oh, that's it.
Good job.
Yep. Everybody seems happy.
They all seem happy now, yeah. I could not believe how all those dogs bark and bark and bark, and as soon as you get up to the cage, they become
quiet.
mellow and they take the food so gently out of your hands.
Oh, yeah.
He is the true mark of what a volunteer is to a facility like this. We couldn't make this facility work without Frank Lantermans of the world.
All right, well, I thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for letting us be a part.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
we got
welcome.
to see your a day in the life of.
Yeah, right.
Day in the life
All
of.
right, there's nothing left for you. So look and see, why not? You say, I want more. Yes, you do. You take more.
Don't worry, there'll be more tomorrow.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We really enjoyed meeting Frank Lanterman. He is definitely the talk of the town.
He is. Frank is probably cooking chicken or prepping dog treats right now for his next visit to AWSOM.
The animal shelter is always in need of volunteers. If you want to get involved, just stop by or check out their website for more information.
Talk of the Town will be right back with a garden craft and one of our favorite people, Grammy Booth.
It's craft time with Grammy Booth.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, girls.
How are you? You look fabulous today.
Oh, thank you. I love doing these things.
We love when we get to do things with you too, Graham. What are we making today?
We're gonna make topiaries. Here, this little
This is
thing
beautiful.
Like this.
It's a bunny rabbit, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and it looks like it has moss in it and
Yes.
ivy.
And made out of chicken wire.
Okay,
We make-
whatever form you want.
Yes. Okay, we have to get. This is what it's gonna look like.
That's what the bunny looks like.
And
Kim, you have a piece down there.
Yep.
Uh-oh, so this means we have to like form it into something.
We have to. First of all, you take it and you make it into a cylinder.
Okay.
Like this. And I would fasten it up. See how there's one straight line around here?
Yes.
Yes.
Fasten it in a cylinder up to that straight line.
Up to the straight line.
Yes, and this thing will. Chicken wire fights you every step of the way.
That's why you brought one special supply that we hope we don't need today, right?
Yes.
Where's that?
I brought the Band-Aids.
I hope we don't need
We
them.
don't need that one, but you are sure prepared, Graham.
I was hoping somewhere I could find a domesticated fox that would come in and work on the chicken wire because they know all about chicken wire.
Yeah.
Josie, what's up?
Josie wants a fox to come visit as well.
Oh, isn't this a chore?
All right, so I got mine half done, and then I have
Yes.
the open part. So this is the part that's going to go in the pot,
And it's going to get down in the pot.
and then we have to decide what kind of form we're making here.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Before you close it up there completely.
Get it in there.
Yeah, and then you get the potting soil and you fill it like up to here with potting soil.
Okay.
Thank you for cutting open the potting soil bags.
Yes, I figure I'm working you girls so hard.
So, Graham, tell everybody how's celebrity life going for you?
Oh, it's going just fine. In fact, through an accident, I got a ticket, a parking ticket.
Through an accident, the meter wasn't working
The
properly.
meter wasn't working.
That's what they all say.
Yes, yes. But the meter person was really, really nice.
Wait a minute. So you got a ticket and then you found the meter person?
Yes, and I said to this person, I said, you know, what happened that the meter wasn't working at the time.
Did
And
you put a quarter in the meter?
I put 2 quarters in the meter. I put a dime in the meter and nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
I told him, and he said, well, Grammy Booth, using my
TV name.
Using my TV name. Said, I'll just take care of that ticket for you.
Oh, wow. That's so nice.
Now, whether he had some magic to take care of it or he paid it for me,
himself.
I don't know, but I thought it was really, really nice.
That was super nice.
That no one's ever helped me get out of a ticket. All right. I think we're good, right?
Yes, yes.
We need to help Graham fill up hers.
Yes.
Oh, I'll just take the leftovers here. And,
You hold it still and I'll dump it for you, okay?
okay. You're an expert dumper.
I don't know about that, but let's hope it works.
I tried to do this in my kitchen to begin with.
Oh, boy.
Never
Oh, boy.
do this in
Messy.
the kitchen.
That's
messy,
right.
messy. It's definitely an outside project.
I could plant flowers on my kitchen floor.
Now you can, right?
Oh, look at this girl. She's speeding right along. She's shaping hers up.
I just made the neck a little bit. Just made.
Well, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And then if you want to make yours with short ears, you might want to cut a little of your top off.
Or make a big head.
Yes, true.
So you guys are making animals, and I was thinking about trying something different. What do you think if I try making a heart?
It sounds like a good thing.
Good idea.
And
I'm
you know
not
what?
sure.
Yeah, would you want to maybe...
Squish this part in a little, right?
Yes. Swish it out, the whole thing a little flat, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then maybe bring the top in.
And down, the middle
and then
down.
Yeah, our first challenge is to make the chicken wire look like something that we can understand.
Yeah. I feel like that is a big challenge.
That's the challenge to start.
I always think I'd like to try to make a duck or something, but...
You're gonna need another piece for like a beak, right?
Yes, yes. And I guess ducks don't have ears. Of course, I could make it wearing a little... Nah, if I made it wearing a little hat, it wouldn't make any sense.
I don't know. Donald wears a little hat.
Yeah. Say duck.
Duck.
Okay.
Donald Duck.
I had to take the wire cutters and cut this in half so that my ears are separated.
Oh yes, I need to do that too.
Maybe I ought to cut the front a little bit.
Yeah, cut the
too.
front down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, creative genius. That's us, isn't it?
That's you, Graham.
We're taking the lesson from you.
But my house is always a mess because of this.
You know what? Then you're living. If your house is too clean, all you're doing is cleaning your house. So you got to get out and live.
How does that look, Zach? Does it look like a
that
bear?
I love it. Oh, I love it.
Like a little bear?
I'm envious. I'm envious. Now you can start. You can take some of that and
This and stick it inside.
Yeah, put it inside.
I don't know if this looks like a heart or not. Yeah, it's kind of looking like a heart now.
Gee, you girls are being so creative here. I feel that here I am making just another bunny.
I actually decided to do a heart because I thought it would be simpler. I'm not sure it is. Okay, so you're just filling in the middle with moss.
Yes. And you know, it doesn't have to be completely filled up. You can even stick some dirt in the middle. You know what? Where's our little bucket of water? It's easier to
Down
work with
here.
if it gets
When
a
it's
little
wet.
damp.
Here's the bucket of water. Okay, so basically you just bought, it's called sheet moss, huh?
Yes, because it's, you know, the others is just broken up stuff.
There, I
Thank
got an
you,
ear
Graham.
up there. Got to get the edges first. Get them up there, right?
Right. And it looks so messy to begin with, but it's amazing how it sort of straightens out then.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see my birdhouse back there?
Yeah, you got any birds?
I have one tenant,
Oh, you do? Good job.
a spider.
I'm gonna say one tenant, no mate. I guess not if it's a spider.
Honest, I didn't think she was going to get that wire shaped into a heart, but by golly, she did it. In this spots around the edge here, you'll want to put the, maybe 4 or 5 plants.
All right, this is
Ivy.
pretty. What kind of ivy is this? English ivy,
That's
huh?
English ivy, and I don't know what.
Here,
there's
Marie.
Two others of another kind. I don't know what it is.
So how many are we putting in here? We're planting 4?
Whatever you think makes it look adequate.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're just putting them anywhere around them?
Yeah, around there, just to make it look nice. Ouch.
Oh, be careful. You took your
Ouch,
gloves
ouch,
off.
ouch.
I got this. Don't hurt yourself. You don't want to need those Band-Aids.
And then this will grow too, so hopefully it'll grow, because it's ivy, it'll grow onto this, right?
Yes, and you have to help it out. When I see it growing up, I stick it up.
You guide it.
Yeah, I stick it in there.
I mean, this is the perfect thing to do for like a Mother's Day gift for someone.
Yes, I was thinking of that too.
So, Graham, we know that you've sold the birdhouses that we've helped you make. Are you selling these topiaries?
Yes, I am.
Where can people find them?
Oh, down at the Jim's Hardware store, East Stroudsburg Hardware. And
so you're like a local celebrity hanging out at Jim's Hardware.
oh, I know, I know. People even go past in the car and yell at me. I had some. And nice things.
Nice things. That's nice. It's good to hear it's nice things.
It's nice things.
One of the biggest places is ShopRite. Like I'll have women coming up tell me I'm dressed nice that day.
Aww,
We
that's
have lots
wonderful.
of friends at ShopRite too.
Yes, we do.
That is very cool.
I think this is awesome, and we're done, right? Now it just has to grow?
Yes, that's, you know, whoever you give it to, if you have it, keep it yourself. Well, you baby it. And, you know, you're watching it. Here, this one's coming up.
You're going to tuck it in. You want to tuck it in somewhere.
One of those
Fasten
wires
it.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that you're making an ivy heart or an ivy bear, or in your case, a bunny.
I love this. This was such a nice idea.
I'll take mine to the plant hospital and get these things straightened out.
And ours are filled in very nicely.
Oh,
You gave us all the extra stuff.
I want to walk around in the front and take a look at them.
Yeah, how do you think we did?
Oh, I think you did great.
They look really good.
Yes, and there's ribbons there if you wanted to put a bow on until the ivy gets going.
Wait, what is this, Graham?
That's food coloring.
And what do you use it
and
for?
that's because the Spanish moss has such brown-looking spots.
Spray it green.
I cheat and spray it with that.
Oh, yeah, it
food
really
dye.
does change it to green.
And you know, it's organic, so
So it doesn't hurt anything.
no. Here we go. Scissors.
Scissors. I didn't need it because I just used the end of that ribbon and there was just a teeny piece. So I made just a teeny little ribbon.
I'll need a scissor, though.
Here. It's just a tiny, tiny little bow. I used the end of the ribbon. There was just a little bit left and it made a perfect tiny bow.
So you had some sticks there, Graham. I'm using a stick to put on my bow.
Yeah.
And then you can stick it right down in the front.
Yep, stick it in and then it'll...
Skimpy, skimpy, but I'll fix it up at home. Boy, I'm glad there's water out here so we can clean up our mess.
Clean up the deck when we're done.
There we go.
They look awesome.
I love them. It's important to give back to our communities and to teach our children to lend a hand as well.
A new nonprofit organization in Stroudsburg is helping kids create a grow and give garden.
There's an abundance of many things in our lives, and gardeners always have an abundance of vegetables. So let's share them with those who are in need of some fresh produce, the community meals, and the food pantries.
Marie and I love the idea of a community service garden, so of course we joined volunteers to build the first raised bed.
So we're staking out an area where the future beds will line up.
Kim, he's not missing like we missed with the
He's-
birdhouses.
I was going to say, we did birdhouses recently, and we sent a few of the nails out the other end.
Yeah, I don't use nails too much. Screws are very precise and they work well.
Carrie Manning recommended the 3rd Street Park because she knew it would give children and their plants a chance to bloom.
They've done a great job cleaning up the area around here, and what a better way to, you know, do something else and beautify the area than to work on the park a little bit.
Great to have good help here.
Lots of help.
I work with a lot of special needs kids. I have a special needs daughter who goes to a program here in Stroudsburg, and they're always looking also to do something for the community. They do a lot of volunteer work. It's the CARES program, so I'm hoping to get them involved too, and then they can come out and spend some time in the park, do some gardening, you know, pick some weeds, have some fun, get out, you know, instead of playing video games all day long.
We're going to lay down some cardboard. He's cutting up some cardboard over here. Right, look at all that cardboard. All right. Who wants to help with watering? Water some more? Perfect, thank you. That's plenty. Thank you so much. There you go.
Now you got it.
There you go, wonderful. First of all, it's not a hard job. You don't have to spend 40 hours a week on your garden. Drape it over the wood, and that's good.
Just like to the edge?
We want to actually have it
Oh,
sit.
it's pretty good. Okay.
Sit on the plastic.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you get it installed and you plant your vegetables, it's a matter of watering, maintaining them, picking, and then you can share that vegetable with those who are in need, who are unable to purchase fresh produce for themselves. We're using our yard leaves that we've collected and mulched in the leaf blower. It's easy to mulch them.
In Stroudsburg, really, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be more green. We're trying to, do more local gardens and food shares, and we're even going solar with our cans and our recycling. So it just all makes sense. It's just the right things to do.
And this will all decompose. It will keep weeds from coming through, keep the grass from coming through, decompose, and the leaves will actually feed the plants that we're planting in this bed.
This is the first of hopefully over a dozen raised beds in the park.
That's right, and we've got some pitchforks and soil, so it's time to make an impact.
We're going to start with 3 or 4 raised beds. Next year we're going to put another 3 or 4, and the next year after that another 3 or 4. So hopefully there'll be 12 to 16 raised beds here as we progress forward.
Just pack it down a little bit, It's got to be packed down a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. Way to go, guys.
That works.
What are we, stomping grapes?
Before we could plant our first vegetable, pole beans, we needed to build a teepee, and teens from the organization Stroud Kids were ready to dig in.
Pick one of your corners here.
Pick the tallest ones, maybe?
Yep, that's good. For the corners, they could be the tallest. You always put the poles in before you plant any seeds. This way it doesn't disrupt the seed, and the seed doesn't get much more buried than it needs to be. Either plant vegetables, help maintain the vegetables, feed the vegetables, do any little bit of pruning that's needed, and then especially harvest and bring the vegetables to the community meals program at United Methodist or Helping Hands Food Pantry at the Wesleyan Church.
Our teepee is in and it looks pretty sturdy. We're ready to go.
Next, it's time to plant the pole beans.
A young person spending minimal amount of time, minimal amount of work, and just sharing what they get for free off of the vegetable plants. It's an easy concept, an easy thing to do, and I think being outdoors, everybody enjoys being outdoors, and especially, it's not a very time-consuming job. It's a pleasure to be out here an hour or 2 during the week.
I'm not sure that will hold.
Well, we'll make it more steady.
It'll be there.
We'll try it for
we'll make
now.
it more steady.
It's time to grow and give.
Green space in the borough is very important. We live in a semi-urban community, but giving back to the community and giving fresh vegetables to people who can't afford it is huge.
There's nothing like a delicious tomato sandwich in the summertime.
This is quite a basket of veggies right here.
And this is exactly what it will look like in a few months when everything over there starts to grow.
This is for you and your organization to enjoy and help feed those who are in need.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Matter
you.
of fact, we'll be using this tomorrow. We are open for a community meal.
Wonderful.
Thank you, and God
Thank
bless you.
you so much. God bless you.
What I said to her, you're a godsend, because produce is expensive. So we're blessed to different people, donate a fruit or a vegetable. But to know that this is going to be an ongoing thing, I think it's such a blessing all the way around. And it's much healthier for the community.
So get outside
and plant something.
And whatever you do, be
the talk of the town.
Kim, yours is really close to looking like a chicken in profile.
Oh, it does!
I don't want it to look like a chicken.
So she made an animal after all.
Yeah.
A heart is what I'm going for.